let's get it started. It is September?
We wish.
I was gonna say Saturday.
Whoa.
We wish it was September 4th.
Wow, this is going to be a great
Saturday,
start.
August 4th.
Perfect.
Not September 4th yet.
Saturday. The S switched me up.
Or exactly a month away.
Yeah. Saturday, August 4th.
That was good. That was
Gosh, that's how long it's been since we last
start.
podcast. Jeez.
Or you just can't wait for September 4th to be here.
True.
good. I don't think y'all, yeah. I don't think we got yeah.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So obviously Destiny 2 is not dead anymore, based on our last podcast.
Oh, not that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, we've been grinding the crap out of the game. Woo! We're just gonna hit some quick updates that Bungie's been launching on us. It's been ridiculous. So much fun has been going down. Let's start with the bread and butter, man. That secret mission. Woo-wee.
Whoa.
Oh, that.
My favorite.
Can't believe that.
Warms my heart.
Alright, so obviously we're talking about the secret whisper mission. And I don't know, how'd you guys find out? Because I think Louis or somebody forwarded us a tweet and it was like somebody was stuck in there like, what the heck is this? And obviously like somebody, figured it out in the end and we're like, wow.
Yeah, I stumbled upon on Twitter. I think it was Ramshackle. That's if you guys don't know Ramshackle, she heads up that new website, Destiny Roundup. She collects all information on Destiny, whether it's via DMG, Deej, through various sources on Twitter and Reddit, and she compiles them and does daily updates, weekly updates on her site. But she's pretty much up to news, and she's constantly tweeting out, and she posted about it, and so I forwarded it to you guys, and we managed to get it done that day.
Yeah, that night.
Yeah.
Which was surprising because not many people had done it that launch day.
Still not many people have collected it from what I've seen.
Yeah, it was like under 200,000 based on that picture that they sent out. So we jumped in there. It took us 5 tries to get it done the first night.
5 tries.
Man, and then I tried it a couple times. The next week I couldn't do it. The following week, which is this week, we finally got a couple completions. But man, that thing is tough.
It's tough, but it's fun tough. It's not super you want to throw your controller. It's like you want it so bad because the weapon's so good, so you push through. It gets your heart racing.
Yeah.
I haven't had that feeling in D2 or in Destiny in general since Oryx. Since when you fight Oryx for the first time, you kill Oryx for the first time, that just rush of emotion, just like, let's go, we did it. Holy shit.
Yeah, like we just, when you fail, you just want to go back immediately and try it again. But then they have that, the public event where you have to unlock it first, which is the pain in the butt part, but it was fun, man.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
The waiting for that public event to hit is definitely the most frustrating part of that quest, but they did a good job designing the quest. It's a challenge. It's high power level requirement. The only thing, other than waiting for the public event to start, the only thing that I found frustrating in there is the walls launching you into the room.
Oh,
it would not be that bad if it wasn't for that. There are so many times. Yes, there were so many times I was next to a wall trying to heal, and that hit me and either killed me or launched me into a blight or an enemy and caused me to die.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating part. But it's doable.
They put the tractor cannon on the wall.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
But that goes to the design of it, the whole design, end game activity. They thought of everything, and that's pretty cool to see,
Something about it also I want to talk about for a second is just like the foreshadowing. If you're a big Halo fan, the foreshadowing about how Whisper on Io.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
That was Louis sent that to us. I was just like, what?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, what Emerald Cody is referencing is someone discovered a clip from Halo 2 that's a cutscene, and they're speaking on one of the brigs, and Cortana talks about whispers on IO, which is kind of interesting, seeing as how Bungie has now implemented that into Destiny 2, having IO be in Destiny 2 and creating this mission called the Whisper that grants you a weapon called the Whisper of. It's very, very cool. That's one of those things that we've all been waiting for Bungie to make that connection from their past to this franchise, and it's really cool. It's one of those little intricacies that Bungie's so well at doing.
Yeah,
we finally got it. Yeah,
they are very attentive to detail. They do a lot of stuff on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yes, they do.
That mission it's
good.
It's fantastic. I mean, it brings back everything we've ever wanted from Destiny 1 to this new game, and I can't be more happy. That weapon is phenomenal.
That weapon's godly, dude.
It's Black Hammer back.
Pre-nerf Black Hammer.
And it's for someone who's never had Black Hammer, it's great.
And then those beautiful ornaments. Oh god, I love them. I don't know if I know you guys haven't purchased them. But,
no, yeah.
No, I haven't.
I thought about it.
Dude, it's the first time I actually spent money, real money, in game for Destiny 2, and I have no regrets. I love both those ornaments.
You bought both of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought both of them.
I have definitely thought about it. I haven't spent any real money on Eververse yet, but that's probably the one that I'll end up doing. If I do any of them, I think that's going to be the one, is at least one of those.
And the best thing about this mission too is, like you said earlier, Bungie doesn't do anything without purpose, and they specifically chose to do this because they know that the community has been in disarray over this game. They're doing everything they can to win us back, and this thing is like the shining star of all that, especially since they've come out and said that this was just a taste of what's to come in Forsaken. So these kind of missions is something we can expect to see when Forsaken comes out.
More secret missions.
And I can't be more excited for that to happen.
It brought me back to playing full time pretty much after seeing this. It brought me back to like grinding, like I need this now. Like I got Sleeper because of this, just to get this mission, just to get some extra DPS. Like I grinded through Sleeper, which was a fucking grind. Fuck.
Yeah.
But
and I think Bungie realized, the times in Destiny 1 when the community came together the most was when these secrets came out, whether it led to something or not. Anytime someone found something that they thought was a code or some hidden spot, the community went to work and everybody played a part in trying to find out, what is this area? What is this secret? Is there a quest tied to this? Is it time gated? And there was so many people in the community that tried to figure this out and passed on the information, and we built it together to find out what we were doing and what we could get out of it. This is the best part of what Destiny 1 was that they brought back to this game.
It's like Black Spindle when you had to wait months and months and months and months just for that one mission. You're like, okay, let's go. And then you ran the same mission all day just to try to get Black Spindle just on repeat.
And while you're on the subject of discovery, there's that discovery that happened for the heroic mission. The heroic version.
Oh, the ship?
Yes.
I mean, them getting all of the chests and then realizing that there was a connection to Vault of Glass with the oracles by the sound of them. I mean, that's Destiny community. That's what we're
Vault of Glass, man.
That's what this community is known for. Is how much they care about this game and devotion. It's mind blowing, and I love that Bungie actually did that. I mean, it's the chest we've all been looking for, and Vault of Glass is finally here.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is somehow a connection to Vault of Glass somewhere down the line through that mission, or you open up a section of Vault of Glass that never was founded.
Yeah, that they're finally giving us the exotic chest that everyone was looking for that thought was there.
Chest.
But yeah, man, that ship that you can get from getting the chest and completing the Oracle portion. It's pretty awesome. It's the Argonaut carve from.
Yeah, it's so sick.
But it's taken. It's taken.
So sick.
And, oh man, that's so awesome. And then you can't even change the color of it.
From D1.
Yeah, it was mine too. And you can't change the color of it either. You can't put a shader on it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I love it.
It takes what, 3 weeks to get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, another grind.
I have not started yet.
Yeah.
I need to get on there. I need to do that heroic. I need to get those chests.
Yeah, we need to get
do
on
the
there.
Oracle puzzle. Yeah,
Plus,
I need that shit.
On top of that, the 3 weeks it takes to get the ship is also the 3 weeks it takes for you to get the masterwork completed.
Yeah.
So
Which we haven't even talked about that ridiculous buff you get with the masterwork. Jesus.
Yeah, I think it's 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
It's already good.
Wow.
On top of the damage you already do.
It's already DPS king at this point, and they're going to buff it another 30% with the masterwork. It's irreplaceable at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did say they want to make exotics more exotic rather than just, oh hey, it's a shiny color.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
staple for sure.
Yes.
But I think I want to talk about like the overall. It's an in-game activity, which is freaking awesome, and it rewards everyone who's been playing this whole time, maxed out their levels. It gives them this something to do, and it prevents those who didn't play the opportunity to do it unless they get carried, or something like that. But man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That definitely had my heart racing when we were doing that, and right at the end, I know in the video that we posted of us doing it, you could hear us talking about how the adrenaline was going at the end of it. It was so tight on the time when we finished that, but it was so satisfying to finish it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was what, 4 a.m. when we finished?
Oh yeah, it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah, we finished around 4 a.m. I mean,
the background story was we were like, okay, last one, and then we were like, all right, last one. Oh man.
We were all tired, ready for bed, barely able to focus on the game. This was the last try. We were about to give up, and we finally made it through it.
But also the great thing is we never once got frustrated, like frustrated to the point where we wanted to give up. That's how much fun this was.
Yeah, we wanted to keep going for sure.
Yeah. Even the jumping puzzle wasn't really that bad either. I thought it'd be way worse.
If you're not a warlock.
It's true. That is true.
No, but there's no guides, no nothing, and we were just like, come on, we got to get this. That was so fun.
Yeah.
I like when you do something when it first comes out, and like, everybody's trying it the first time too, and we're like, come on. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Like we have yet to do a raid on launch day. And when we were able to do this mission the same day and complete it, it felt like that same feeling that you would get for doing a fresh raid with with no guide and doing it. It was.
It's that sense of discovery on top of the accomplishment. You're discovering it, you're learning it yourself, and there's so much more satisfaction there than just, okay, I completed it finally.
Yeah, the whole thing is just phenomenal. Congrats to Bungie. And not even saying a word about it until 2 days later.
And then immediately following that up, man, another update that they launched with the Solstice of Heroes. Wow. They had to tie it in because they released the 400 weapons with the prestige raids layer. But there was no way to get the armor, so then, boom, here we go.
400 armor.
Man, all this endgame activity
is
perfect.
A grind. Yes, it is. It gives us more to do. It gives us so much more to grind for. And it really makes you enjoy the game so much more because there's a goal in mind. Before, the biggest problem that we had, coming from being hardcore Destiny 1 players was that there was nothing to go for at the end. There was endgame activities, but you tested yourself, you completed them, you know what you're doing. And then unless you really had a specific weapon that you wanted that, were similar enough to a lot of the other weapons, there was really nothing driving you back to the game to do more.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not a PvP player normally. And adding these in and adding all of these goals to grind for has brought me back 100%. I've probably put close to 40 hours into the game in the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not that much. I'm at least 20 something, but I'm up there. I'm way more.
Yeah.
So I went months without playing, months and months, and then I was like Whisper, and I was like, oh, here goes the grind.
Oh, what level were you
low.
when you came back? Just like this past 2 weeks?
I was 340.
Yeah.
And I'm at 363, so I went up 20 plus power levels in 2 weeks, and got my sleeper.
Yo, and your Whisper.
And my Whisper. That was
awesome.
That was fun. That was great.
What are you guys thinking about the Redux missions?
Hard as fuck.
The perfect description for them.
Yeah,
I remember.
I see all these YouTubers that are like posting solo guides, and I'm like, isn't this supposed to be solo? And then, I just went in, I did all of them by myself, and I was like, whoa, that's why.
Yeah, they did a really good job because it balances, with the way that the armor drops being only 200 power level. They know you're going to have weapons that are higher than that, but it only brings you up to, if you've got weapons that are basically maxed out, it brings you up to about 270 to 280 with that armor on. And so it brings you down to a level where it's actually a challenge for where they put the Redux missions at. And then they added in a lot of yellow bars. They changed some things around in the missions and made it almost like running a strike or a mini raid doing these missions. It's a perfect way to balance that out, and I think it was fantastic the way they did that. And I'm just about to the point where I'm upgrading my armor to blue to rare, and haven't done that yet, but I'm hoping that everything kind of comes up along with you. You have to do the strikes and you have to do these other activities in order to get everything done to upgrade. Yeah. And you're at a point where it's now a challenge, being only that 270 give or take power level. You're not way overpowered for it. I think that was the perfect way to do that.
Yeah, I just did the homecoming mission. That's the only one I've done, and I was expecting to do the whole mission again, and then in turn you only do the Cabal ship at the end, and oh man, I was not ready for that. Luckily I had sleeper, but I was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. It's like, oh, first
yeah, it is really tough.
Nope. That boss room is ridiculous. All those Centurions coming at you, and you got the boss firing at you. Yeah, definitely bring a team with you.
Yeah, again though, it's an in-game activity, in-game update, which is what we all ask for every single time, every single quarter of the game. We run out of stuff to do, and then we're like, oh, okay, let's go play some other game.
Yep.
Now they're like, here you go, boom. 2 or 3 weeks of like updates, and we're like, oh gosh, and then we got Forsaken coming out in like a month. This is gonna keep us busy for a while.
What I love about this event too is that they are taking this game full circle. They're bringing us back to the armor that we started this game off with, the armor that was supposed to set this game on a new path, that damn near broke this game.
I think it did.
And now we're getting to take that broken armor, reforge it, and create better armor out of it. And it's almost poetic, It's poetic to what Bungie's done with this game and where we're at now compared to we were last year,
Yeah, last year this time. The perfect analogy, really, because that's what it is. You're reforging armor. You're reforging over the past year of mishaps, mistreatments, and I feel like they actually care, not just like, oh yeah, whatever, like, yeah, okay, community, whatever, I'll do how I want to do, like most developers are. They actually care. They're like, all right, we see where we messed up. We see the problems we had with the game when it came out. This is what we're doing. Here's a celebration of our achievements or our hard work over the past year to make this game your game you always wanted it to be. And that's what I like about it. That's what I like. The theme of it is just, it's so cool, like, of how they come back to, they're fixing their mistakes and owning up to it. Like, this is where we messed up. This is what we're improving. This is how we're improving. And here you guys go. Enjoy.
And not only have they reforged the game, they also reforged the community. I mean, there's people who left the game and now they're back. And they're salivating for more, especially for what they're seeing from Forsaken.
Yeah,
so
I was gone.
It's fantastic.
I was gone.
It's fantastic what they're doing, and I'm just so happy for where we're at with this, and especially for this event, because it's a really fantastic event. They they really did outdo themselves with creating cosmetics for us to grind, because it's not easy to get this stuff.
I was gonna ask you about that.
You gotta put the time in, and for me, I don't get a lot of time to play. I get 2 days a week, about 2 to 3 hours on Wednesday, and anywhere between 4 to 6 hours on Friday nights. And for me, when I got to put my time into Destiny, I make sure that I'm utilizing all the time I have. And for this event to be so grindy, I feel that my time that I'm spending in this game is being justly rewarded. And this is the stuff I want to see going forward with Destiny, because I feel like the time I'm putting into this game, I'm getting it back tenfold.
I want my game back.
I'm loving it.
I just want that one game that I always can come back to no matter what. Like, yeah, we all go play different things. I want that game to come back to me. Destiny was that game for me. And D2 is finally becoming that game again.
For me, I haven't left Destiny. As most of everyone here, they all ventured off to different games. This is something about this franchise. I just can't put it down, no matter what. No matter how pissed off I am, no matter how mad I get for what's going on or what they're not doing right, I still can't seem to get my hands off this game. I mean, we had a brief stint where I was playing Monster Hunter for majority of my time and a little bit of Division, but as soon as something came back for me to do in this game, I jumped right back on it. I
think it's the world they built.
It's my love for this game.
Me
I just
too.
love this
I
game.
agree.
I think it's the world they built and the characters they built with it, and then just kind of the secret nuances they have and the secrets they have. Their storytelling isn't like, I know that's one of the big issues of their community, I would say, is no storytelling, but really you gotta dig deep. Their lore, their story is there, you just gotta go find it, which I think is pretty cool. There's always something
a lot
to
of
discover.
nuances and stuff,
Yeah.
details that are always hidden that people are discovering.
That's not going to be for long, because we have that awesome looking lore book coming out.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that.
And then we also have lore going to be in game in the future.
Yeah.
That's going to be
I
great.
wish they made like a place in the tower, like a library. You can go look up lore tabs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they do that. I've wanted a really good lore system in the game for a while, because I love getting an idea of the story and the background and things that happen in the past that they don't tell directly in the game. The Grimoire system in D1 had its problems, but it was a good way to tell those long stories that they didn't have room for in the game. And I'm really looking forward to see what they do with that. The lore tabs that they have now on different weapons and armor is, I think, honestly, a step back from the Grimoire system. It's not able to tell those same in-depth stories, and I really want that back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Was it launching with the Forsaken update or DLC, or how's that going to work?
From what I understand, yeah, it's going to be on launch for
Nice.
Forsaken in-game lore.
In-game lore. Ooh, I'm excited to see what they put there. I'm excited for this few surprises they haven't shown us yet either. So it's gonna be good.
Cool. All right, switching gears a little bit. The other thing that they launched from the past month or so is the Prestige raid layers. And boy, I don't know if you guys have tried it yet, but man, these things are tough.
I have not tried it yet. I want to. I need to get in there. I need to get some 400 power weapons, but I have not had the opportunity to do that. Right now, Solstice of Heroes is my priority. I'm trying to get everything done with the time that I have, get my armor upgraded, and I have not set aside the time to do that just yet.
So let me give you some, background story on my attempts, at the Prestige raid layer. Me and Tony jumped in. We had just a random team, and we jumped in at phase 1 at Argos. So the modifier is Prism, right? Which means the burns rotate every 30 seconds or so. And so you have your normal loadout, but then they say, hey, you got to use a sniper, you got to use an auto rifle, you got to use a pulse rifle, something like that. So we're like, okay, that's fine. We got the best sniper in the game, let's put it on. We got our subclass, the best subclass in the whole game, Sunbreaker. And then so we were doing it, and it was like, okay, this is gonna be a breeze. As soon as solar burn comes, it's game over. But it's not what you would think at all, because all the enemies in that room in Argos, Cody knows it too, because we just ran the raid the other day.
Yep.
So they're all vexed. They all have solar burn. So when we go to solar, we're ready to go DPS, right? All the enemies are shooting at you all at once, and if you as soon as you get out of your super, or if you're trying to snipe, you're gonna die in like 10 seconds. It's super fast. So we tried like, I don't know, 5 times, 6 times just on the phase 1 part, which is a relatively easy part.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the heck is going on? It's like, why is it so hard? And sure enough, it took us like 10 attempts, and we finally did it. And that was just phase 1. Now we got to go to phase 2, and we're like, man, this is good. This is a good challenge. And phase 2 was a little bit easier, just because it all depends on your DPS, right?
Yeah.
So we tried to time it around solar burn, and we would get it sometimes, but then other times we would be on arc, for example, and then if you're on a different burn, the third burn gets cut in half. So when you're trying to shoot the orbs to unlock Argos' gate, it's like half the time it takes, because your damage is halved. So it's pretty tricky, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It affects the guns too.
Yeah, it affects the cannons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So if it's a rainbow burn, whoever has the modifier on, let's say arc, that arc orb would go in like a second. And then the solar one or the void one, whichever one that's not gets halved, that one goes normal speed, and then the halved one goes half speed. So it's weird. You have to time it pretty good. And sometimes if you're missing your cannon shots, you run out of your cannon. That's a wipe. And we're like,
I didn't think about
Yeah,
that twist on it.
Think about it either. Especially the first time running it in the world.
And I said it last night while we were raiding, when you were talking to us about that prestige lair, Javi, that I think I'm under the opinion that Bungie did this on purpose, that they knew when it came to a loadout with a sniper, people who had Whisper, they were saying, oh, this is great, we're going to be able to defeat Argos in no time, and then they put Prism in there just to mess everybody up. And I really think they did that on purpose. And I'm not saying it was a good move or a bad move. I think it was something to surprise the community. Everyone was excited, going to be easy, and it's not.
No.
Yep.
They put it on purpose too.
It's a really good challenge. Whenever, I don't know if you guys will have time this week, but whenever we do get a chance and it's Prism again, we got to get in there, because it was a lot of fun. It's very challenging though, really challenging.
So, Javi, since you've done the prestige raids,
yeah.
Would you have preferred if they would have made the traditional hard mode where they changed the mechanics?
Oh, that's a good question. It's like the D1 kind of ish prestige.
Yeah.
Or...
That seems to be a big debate right now in the community. Is that there's a portion of the community that I preferred that they would have went the traditional way of a hard mode with mechanical changes, and there's those who like what they've done with this locked loadout system and the modifiers. So I just wanted to see, since you're the one out of us who've done it, where do you stand on that line?
It's tough. I'm like right in the middle, because these modifiers, they're new modifiers, or Prism is an old one, but they brought it back. It's still unique to the raids, right? Yeah. So dealing with the modifiers and lock loadout, that's something very different, and it does make it challenging for sure. But we already know the mechanics, and to succeed, right? We already know how to beat the boss. We just gotta use what we have and just make it work. With the changes, let's say they implement new mechanics, that would have been interesting, because then let's say, oh, you can't use a cannon 2 times in a row, or else game over, you wipe. That would have been crazy. Or change up the cannon where we're going to Argos, the platforms and stuff. Maybe they would have changed that whole sequence. That would have been nuts too.
Or maybe a goblin that steals your cannon.
Oh gosh. So yeah, things like that. Like,
don't do that to us.
but I was thinking like, yeah, like the heroic, like D1 raids, for example, and how they were harder, but at the same time there was a new mechanic involved. I think that's a little bit more challenging than just knowing what the raid is. You just have to deal with these situation and just get it done. If you're a new player or if you're an old player and you're still raiding, you do the prestige and let's say there's a new mechanic and you're like, oh, I gotta think this through again. You're not just on autopilot and be like, hey, okay, I gotta use a rocket this time. I don't know. I think I would be more on the mechanic side, just a little bit though.
Yeah, it's more of that sense of discovery. And one thing I'm interested to see that what they do is, I know the prestige raid, the Leviathan raid, is different. They added in different things with that. It's a little bit of mechanical changes. But the raid Lairs, they said they designed as complete experiences with all the mechanics intact. And they have these locked loadouts for the prestige Lairs. I'm interested to see if they continue with that. When we get a full new raid with the Forsaken expansion, is the prestige mode going to be this locked loadout with modifiers, or is it going to be mechanics changes? Maybe they'll have the full raids have mechanics changes for the prestige mode, but the Lairs on top of that they come out with through the year have the lock loadout system. And I think that's a good way to do it.
That's what I think the plan is going to be. I think they've mentioned that in the past, that they want to have the raids have the change in mechanics and keep the raid Lairs their own thing. So I'm pretty sure that's what the plan is moving forward. I could be wrong, but I'm okay with that because I feel like the raid Lairs aren't an entirely full raid. So them having their own little, isolated world where they have their own version of the prestige mode is fine with me.
But the Leviathan, it has challenges. You know that?
Yeah.
And there's nothing really special. You get emblems for doing the challenge, but there's nothing really special besides that. It does make it harder. It's a different kind of mechanic twist, but there's no point in doing them,
No, because it's all cosmetic, right?
Yeah.
I think that's something that needs to change. Yeah. But if they keep that system, either adding mechanics or adding challenges, certain ways to do things, but give you a reason to do that, that would be a great balance. And then you can choose, do I want to go discover more about the raid, or do I want to have that short raid lair run but with more challenge because of modifiers and locked loadouts? I think that's a good way to please both sides of the community. There's that big debate going on, and that way you have something to please both sides of that debate. You've got one activity for the mechanics, and as long as it has a good reason to do those, something good to grind for, some good loot, not just a cosmetic difference, that will please that side of the community. And then there's the side that can go into the raid lair and be perfectly happy because they know it's just harder for them.
I agree. Okay, I think we can all agree that whenever the Forsaken comes out, we can't wait to get the new raid, the new challenges, everything that's involved with it, all the exotics. Oh man, it's gonna be so much fun.
I just want to know
the weapon system changes.
Weapon system.
Oh.
Yes. Weapon mods.
Gosh, so many changes.
Armor mods. Mod system update. Remember, I cannot wait.
We're 3 weeks away from trying that out.
I know. So excited.
Can't wait. Oh man, I gotta pre-order that. Shoot.
Same here.
Yeah, me too. I keep forgetting about that.
I know. I forget about it. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Well, let's close with this, man. Just the overarching topic of why we're making this podcast, on why we do YouTube videos on Destiny 2, Destiny. Why do we keep coming back to this game? Cody hinted on it earlier. He mentioned a little bit of why he keeps coming back, but just in general, what of Destiny 2 keeps you coming back? Why would you tell someone to join or to play? Just answer those questions for me, because I need to know.
I think it's the world for me personally. Just the characters, even like your classes, your hunters, titans, warlocks. Like they all have their own separate stories of where they came from, and their vanguards that came before them, and just the stories and the Iron Lord. It's just so sci-fi, but real at the same time. That this could actually happen.
So would you say more like the lore and the history of Destiny and maybe Bungie tying it together?
Yeah.
Well, for me,
Well-
I'm just gonna say that. So I came from playing a lot of FPSs. Came from playing Halo. After Halo, I switched over to Call of Duty, and there was always a desire for me to play an MMO. I just never had the means to do so. I've always been a console player, still am. So there wasn't a game that had that itch for me to scratch for an MMO experience until this game came out. Until they created this shared world shooter genre, and since D1, that's the thing that's really wrapped me into it. Bungie, I believe, is the best currently right now at giving us the best experience as far as gunplay goes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In video games, whenever you shoot a gun in Destiny, it is fantastic. It feels great. It looks great. It sounds great. All of that.
100%.
Every time you use a weapon in this game, you're going to have a great experience. Exactly.
Every gun has a unique sound. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you combine that with this fantastical story that they've created, that we're in this vast future of a dying Earth, that some celestial alien being decided to choose our planet and revive the dead on this world to become guardians for its legion, you know? And not only that, there's fantastic elements of this game. There's the Hive, which to me is probably the most compelling enemy that we have next to the Fallen. I
love the Fallen.
It's the worlds they create. I mean, I still miss going to go and patrol on the moon or old Russia. I memorized those maps like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
There's something about this game that continually drives me back to wanting to play it, even when it comes to PvP. I mean, I have fun going to the Crucible and playing a PvP match because this game has supers, it has crazy weapons, it's got fun levels, it's abilities. Got abilities and exotic armors and stuff that you can't find in other games right now. There's games gonna be, you know, competing for that title soon.
Yeah.
Division 2 is looking like it's taking its swing at Bungie and Destiny. Same goes for Anthem.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be the last ones trying to do that. But as of right now, this game constantly has me by my hands, pulling me towards it. There's some type of gravitational pull that's pulling me towards the Traveler right now, and it won't stop. It's a game that we can all jump on together with my friends.
Yeah.
And if we want to run some PvP, we can go do that. If we have some daily milestones that we want to knock out, we could do that together as a group, or as a solo player. There's plenty of times where not everyone's on, and or you're playing other games, and I'm hopping on running solo, and I could do that if I want to.
Yeah.
Bring it back real quick to friends about this aspect of it. I've made so many friends on here just on the Destiny from you guys. Basically, you guys.
Oh yeah, all of us.
Friends. All of us, just because of
That's
this.
how we
game.
met.
Yeah, it's what this channel, everything's come from a video game. I never thought would be possible, but it's something special. They got the right things going right now, and then keep it going, man. They got something special on their hands with D2.
Yeah.
So if you're asking me what drives me to play Destiny 2, it's fun, having fun.
Yeah, simple.
But
That's what it comes down to. I mean, even in the worst of times of this game, and really, there were some pretty bad times here, I still had a little bit of fun.
Oh yeah.
I can't deny it. I mean, I was mad.
I think we all were.
Oh yeah, they hurt us though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. It took a while, but they're getting there.
Yeah. Mine's simple. 3 things, real quick: community, friends, and the challenge. There's always something challenging that you could do in Destiny 2. I look at all these YouTubers soloing, you know.
The solo heroic whisper mission.
Solo the Whisper, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shoot. And then it makes me want to try it. I kind of like the challenge like that. I want to learn how they do it, speed runs and things like that. And then I bring it to us, when we're casually playing, I'll be like, hey, do this. And you're like, oh, that makes it a lot easier. I don't know, I like the challenge of it. I mean, D1, I used to try to solo Crota and stuff, and I did it before. And I was like, man, this is, I'm spending like 2 or 3 hours practicing to solo this stupid thing. But it's the game, and it just keeps me coming back, and I just love it. It's crazy. It's fun. What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, definitely the world sucks me in, as was said before. That's what really got me into the Destiny universe in the first place and got me into playing more. The lore, the story behind it, the world that Bungie has built. And even when I stopped playing for a while, when I took time away to play other games because there wasn't much to grind for, there wasn't much endgame there, and I followed things on my off time instead of playing the game, but it kept me involved in the Destiny universe. And then really what brings me back and what keeps me playing is these endgame activities and this grind that they've finally brought back with the Solstice of Heroes, with the Whisper of the Worm mission. These are what keep me coming back. And I'm so happy that not only did they give us things to grind for, worthy pursuits to go after, but they're finally adding back in that those things that you're going for, it's not just a cosmetic change, it makes you more powerful. That was what I missed most out of D1 when D2 came out, was that it really, when you got to the end game, you were just able to do those other activities, but you didn't feel powerful like you did in D1.
Like a badass.
It didn't have that RPG aspect of when I get to the end game and I get this best armor, this best set, that I'm going to be able to go in and just dominate everything but the hardest activities. And that's finally back. I had an experience the other day that I had got Whisper a couple of weeks ago with you guys, and I had an experience the other day that I jumped into a public space on Mars, and some people were doing escalation protocol, and they were, they were decent power level, between 357 I think was the lowest and like 376, and they were on the first wave. They were sitting there, they were doing it, they were doing pretty good, but they were having their challenges, and being 382 I think I was with that setup, and having Whisper, I jumped in there, I helped him clear out a lot of ads, and when that ogre came up, I pulled out my Whisper and I just completely destroyed that ogre. And when I turned away from it after I killed it, I turned away and I see one of the lower power level guys just looking at me for a second, like, did that really happen? And then he just starts dancing in front of me. And it brought that satisfaction back. I've spent the time, I've built my character up, and I finally feel powerful again. And that's really what keeps me coming back, is building that power. And I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy not being powerful for a while, but I want to be able to drive towards that goal of, there's going to be the hard activities, they're going to be challenging, and I love those. But when I'm going in and doing something else, I want to feel like my time has been worth it.
All right. I think we should end on that. Would you guys agree?
I got one more question.
Sure.
Okay. Real quick, real simple. What's one thing, only one, that's coming in Forsaken that you're most excited for?
I'll start. I want to know why the fuck Aldrin killed Cade. That's really the only thing I care about, is why the fuck Cade had to die.
So yours more like story.
Yeah. Plus the bows, but I really want to know why Cade had to die.
I'm going to say the weapon changes, the slots. I want to see how it's going to play with, 2 shotguns or 2 snipers, something like that. I like that from D1 for sure.
I'm going to say mine is probably the mod system changes. When I heard mod system in this game, I was thinking that we were going to be able to customize weapons a little bit on top of the perks that they already have. And I was very disappointed to find that, armor mods didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
And weapon mods really just gave you a power level boost, having the +5 legendary. I'm going to be happy getting rid of that and actually being able to customize things to my preference and playstyle.
Yeah.
Are we getting random rolls too?
We are.
Yes, we are.
We're getting random rolls a week before. We're getting weapon slot changes
really?
and random rolls a week before.
Sweet. What about you, Louis?
It's kind of what Andrew touched on, the mod system, but it's more about the horizontal progression we're getting in armor and weapons. We're going to be getting a new way to get masterwork, and it's not going to be as simple as we do now, where we just collect materials and apply it so we can become masterwork. There's going to be levels to our weapons and armor to be able to progress them towards masterwork, and I believe they said that's like 10 levels.
What?
So that's that horizontal progression is what I'm looking for. I mean, it's great. It's great to hit the vertical progression with, you know, hitting your power level cap and all that. But it's the horizontal progression that I'm really looking forward to. Getting the best armor that you make yourself, how you want it, and the best weapon the way you want to make it with the mods and masterwork. That's what I'm looking forward to, is creating more of a sense of ownership with the loot we get in the game.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
excited.
Nice.
Super excited.
Taking King on steroids.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank
Yes.
you for everyone. Thank you for everyone to listening. We appreciate it, and we'll look forward to the next podcast. All right. Let's get it. Catch you guys next time.
Yep.
Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.